How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today got a mission called Workhorse. Bit of a chilled, simple one, but it's a good excuse to go over to the left-hand side of the map, which I did go on briefly when I did a mod live stream. But yeah, other than that, I've not really been there. You can see it's all still shaded in. So I'm going to go around the top. Now I've got the landslide out of the way. That's like I can use that route. Grab the CK. Going to cut up across that river, go over the big fat river. And then yeah, there's like just a little area where you got to go and drop the CK off. And further down, I've not really left it in this video, but there's a log station further down, which is a bit awkward to get from the way I'm going now. I think there is better ways. I sent the goddamn horse in. Yeah, my setup for this, got the Dolphin, and I managed to get 2 loafs on, because someone said the other week about the Dolphin having a 3 cargo sideboard, and it must be on one of the modded versions of the Dolphin, because I'm sure I remember equipping it myself. I was flicking through the menu, and then I was like, well, I'll see what I can do with this, I don't know, whatever they call it. It's like I think I'd call it like a beaver tail, something or other. Something like that. That rings a bell. But yeah, nice thing is though, it's able to fit 2 goddamn professionals on. And yeah, it was good chance to go out with the old classic duo together, Dolphin and Loaf, or Dolphin and Double Loaf. What could be better? And you can see now, I'm enjoying using the old Dolphin on these maps, because it's still got plenty of punch to it, even though they have messed around with the torque and all the rest of it. This truck feels one of the lesser affected over it. It's just, yeah, got some nice pace, even cutting through here. Normally there's like a swampy bit of mud there that can really slow you down. But this thing's ploughing through it pretty well, and it's got the weight of both loafs on it. You obviously can't have a trailer or anything with this. But yeah, for this mission, all I've got to do is kind of drive up into the hills. There's a swampy section you've got to get the CK from, which is a bit of a pain in the arse in the sense of there's no real way around it. It's just an incredibly swampy area. It reminds me a bit of the what was it called, the bog from MudRunner. There was just in the map on the bog. I think there might be a mod map of it. I'd have to check it out at some point, but as long as it's voted high enough, because I think the ones that are voted a little lower might be a bit iffy with glitches. You can kind of travel around the edge of the bog map at regular speeds, and yeah, as I'm sure everybody did on that map that's played MudRunner, I thought, oh, I don't know, I'll do a shortcut across the middle of the map, and then yeah, you soon realise why the map is called the bog, and you go 0. whatever miles an hour for a bloody long time, and you soon learn to skirt around the edge of the map. Same thing with this swamp coming up. It's yeah, just slow mode, so try and skirt around the edges if you can. You can see now, I was going for like some off-road rally, Group B rallying, Group Loaf, the best kind of rallying there is. Yeah, but like I said, this Dolphin's got a nice old pace to it. Well, he says, as we hit this and get bogged down. I was actually doing this mission yesterday. I think in the end, oh yeah, this might be yesterday's footage. I got to near the end of this mission, I was cutting through the river and I tipped over, and I completely messed it up. I was like, the river was making my loaf roll, so I reckon I could have got out of there, but I pressed, I went to save the footage and I pressed circle instead of square, so I lost the footage. Then I tried to do the quick like quit and reload thing to hope it'd load back a bit further. I quit the game. This is just throwing it out there. I've done it a few times, it's kind of predictable now. I like do it to avoid it, or make sure I do. I turned the game off when the saving cogs were like just above my gearbox or whatever, and yeah, it can make the data corrupted. So then I loaded the game back up and it said corrupted data, and then it loaded me back. It loads you back even further than the last save point. It loads you back like, it could be anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes or something, and then it loaded me back near the beginning of this mission. So yesterday, I could have carried on, I could have edited the video. The reason I wasn't happy is because I would have had a window of missing footage, and then I was going to have to kind of drive back there to get the last bit of the footage, and I thought, nah. In the end, by the way, the reason I missed a video yesterday, I'm going to have a day or 2 per week where I don't do a video. One, just so I can actually get other things done, because as much as I like, it's weird as well. I like doing this 7 days a week, definitely. Once I don't do a video, it sort of frees up a lot of the night, but I don't really ever get to the point where I don't do a video when I've already decided it, so I already like spend a few hours doing this, that, planning it, and then yeah, but yeah, just to pace it out a little, because I was looking through and I've got I think it's 6 contracts left, and then there's probably now about 6 missions on each map left to do. So yeah, you're only talking like what, say 12, 18, less than 3 weeks. I'm not sure when Phase 7's coming out, but still, like, there's enough stuff. There's some contests and stuff to do as well. I need to do the what the bloody hell is it called? That Forester. I need to do that a review on that as well. So I'm not like running out of stuff, but what I don't want to do is just go like flat out 7 days a week and then yeah, skip ahead this time sort of 2-3 weeks later it suddenly drops off to like I've got no videos a week to make. So I'll just pace it out a little bit longer, and yeah, it also gives me a chance where I actually know like I'm gonna have, I don't know what days I'm gonna have, it just depends here and there. Like for the most part, yeah, I generally want to make videos, but just one of a combination, like I said, of pacing it out and actually having other stuff to do in my life, unfortunately. I was reading as well, seen with the corona now, they're saying there's someone's tested for flu-rona. They've got the flu and corona at the same time. It never ends. Still waiting for my Sharona. See how long it takes for that one to come out. I think they're running out of names at this rate. Yeah, this is the swampy section. You can see there's a goddamn horse. He's already been scouting out earlier. Yeah, it's just a CK-1500. And long story short, it doesn't really say in like the first bit of the mission. Right now, the mission just says I've got to take the CK-1500 to like the destination I'm going to. And if you read it in the mission, it'll tell you this, but it doesn't now. Once you actually get there, it says you have to restore the CK-1500. And just as a heads up, I didn't specifically know when I was actually doing this mission. I did this mission on the live stream ages ago, but I couldn't remember for the life of me like how many points I needed to fix the CK. That's why I wanted to bring 2 Lo4fs with me, because I just had a funny feeling that the game, they have a habit of doing this where they'll just make it slightly more repair points than a roof rack's got, etc, etc. Yeah, it was over 300 points I needed. I think it ended up being like 323 or something maybe. So yeah, you're gonna need like, and the Lo4f's got a pretty I was gonna say a fat roof rack. Yeah, compared to stuff like the Tatran and that, Tatran's got 150 repair points. Lo4f is he's packing. He is hung like a loaf, of course. Yeah, so you'd need, well, yeah, 3 Tatrans worth of roof racks, or if you did this mission with a Tatran with a roof rack and a Lo4f, pack a Lo4f on the roof. The Tatran and the Lo4f actually go really well together because the Tatran's very planted. It's got enough room on the roof to fit a Lo4f with no problems. And yeah, they're a pretty good pair. Then you got 450 repair points. You got plenty of tyres spare on the Lo4f, so if you pop any of your Tatran tyres, if you blow any of them, that's what she said. I was quite liking this section as well, just as a nice little mission. Yeah, like going this slow pace, I don't really mind at the minute because, like I said, I got my Dolphin. It's pretty loaded with Lo4fs. We're towing a CK behind. I'm climbing up a river. Just in general, it kind of feels like, yeah, I could agree I'd probably be going this slow in real life. It doesn't feel like the game was being over the top. I'm climbing up this little waterfall section, if anything. It was gripping nicely. As I said, the Dolphin's still an incredibly solid truck. I've been driving... This phase has been a pretty good... I don't know, like opportunity to, as I've been doing the different missions, doing the garage missions, all the rest of it, just to go through some of the old vehicles, see where they're sort of sat at these days, and some of the new ones, because still got like the Phoenix and the Force that's been added in the last phase. Yeah, the Civilian and the Tiger. I have to say, the Civilian, to be honest, I've not really found myself driving at all, or particularly desperate to, since I reviewed it and all the rest of it. It's not that it's a terrible truck by any means, it's pretty... It's alright in the scheme of things. At least they've fixed the... It's basically the military, but they've fixed the tipping. I actually still do think that the military somehow still has a bit more oomph to it. Still, the torque feels like it's better on the military version. But yeah, I don't know. Not really been rushing out to use it. The Tiger, though, I do quite still like using that. I think that's a pretty decent vehicle as well. As I've said, this phase, really, this map and the amount of missions and all the rest of it have been pretty decent, so it's not too bad. The vehicles they've given us have actually been yeah, more universally usable. They were a little bit of a gimmick, the vehicles they were given us, a lot on Phase 1. Not all of them, there's F750 and that was a really good vehicle. And even the ones that were a bit gimmicky, like the Taz and the Warthog, they're still fun. I like to mess around in them every now and then. I don't really use them on a serious note. Yeah, this was now, so this must have been yesterday, I think. And basically, I was going to cut across to that island there, and you can see I was having a little think about it, and I was like, well, I'll just try driving straight over to see what happens. And yeah, inevitably it didn't go too well. It was looking pretty good now. I was like, oh, I'm loving the views. Some deep old water to go through. Looking around at the waterfall. Double loaf action. What could possibly go wrong? And then what I needed to do, I reckon, was stick over to the left more, because then suddenly my engine dropped deeper. You can see me taking damage, and I tipped now. But it was, yeah, when I went to go and save the footage, well, it was now I saved the footage, it was after that when I was getting the loaf to roll in the current. So, tonight, I set this up, and I still managed to pack the 2 loaves. I tried for a while to get the trailer to pack on the roof, but I couldn't. So I had my winch on it, I was like, right, be nice and delicate, I'll see how long I can keep this this trailer on my roof for. And then, like a complete dumbass, I don't know, I must have turned my engine off and back on so my winch wasn't connected. So I went to hoover the winch in just to put some more tension on it. And I fired a winch to the lamppost. And yeah, literally didn't even make it out of the garage before the the trailer went flying off my roof. So then, this must be tonight's footage. Because as I said, once it corrupted the data, it loaded me back to like... I'm trying to think. After I leave the garage and then I sort of veer off to the left, it loaded me back somewhere there, so it was kind of like I'm gonna have to drive all the way back here anyway. I completely cocked it all up. And you can see that I've learnt my lesson this time. It's like, sod it, I'll go round to the left on this island. I was actually more curious to see if you could get over this way or not, and it does go pretty deep there. Again, that's definitely what she said. But yeah, again, I like this sort of section and everything. I like it was a nice little mission, nice little excuse to go for a drive with a lesser vehicle. It might be a little bit of a pain in the arse or whatever. I've certainly loaded myself up to, yeah, I was certainly hauling some weight, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Even I believe it was in this one going up the river at some point, it stayed in second gear, which was quite there was a section somewhere on here where my truck actually stayed in second and kept a nice pace to it, which, considering how much the gearboxes in particular keep trying to jump back to first, it was yeah, quite nice that it was working. It actually, yeah, just stayed in second. That's a pretty rare sight to see. I still definitely vote one of the biggies for Phase 7. I'd like to see a roof rack on this Dolphin. It's a good job it could squeeze all these loafs on, because I just had a feeling if I took one loaf, I'd get there and yeah, it'd be just, I'd need 10 or 20 points or something, which I think it ended up being 23. And then I have to go all the way back and bring something else. I could have done this mission with the Zix. I certainly reckon like the Zix would be a decent truck to do this mission, especially if you pack a loaf on the roof rack of the Zix. Then yeah, like between those 2 roof racks and all the rest of it, you'll have enough points to do this. Definitely enough fuel, it's stable enough and all the rest of it. But the Dolphin, yeah, I think I could get it done quicker with this than the Zix. And then you turn up to this section, it just, I don't know, accepted itself. Well, there you go though, it says stage completed. Now it says about the damage, so that's why I got a pair of goddamn horses. A little bit of country music going on in the background. It should say somewhere, it's shrank the screen so I can't really see it, but at the bottom of like all the broken stuff it'll say how many repair points are needed. So I clicked it with that. In fact, if I pause this, I'll have a look. Yeah, I just looked. So 25 points left. So yeah, sod all really. Still, as well, one thing I'd really like is a Scout trailer that can carry repair points. It just like some kind of mini version of the maintenance trailer would be pretty damn cool. As for the mission though, $5.5 grand. That's not actually that bad considering money doesn't really matter as much these days. I think I've still got about 110 million, so I'm doing alright, but yeah, still, that's pretty decent payout if we're just hauling that thing over there. Although it did, yeah, actually, I don't know, take that back, the amount of roof racks it drained. Anyway, that's about it for today, though. I hope you enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, thanks to our Patreon members. Get yourself a pair of loafs, because they're goddamn professionals, and I'll be back soon.